what we have here is a Davis Vantage Pro 2 console, which belongs to a Davis Vantage Pro 2 weather station. Obviously, this is just the console, and you'd normally buy this as a package with the sensors as well. Normally retailing for your basic package for about £600 and up to £1,200 with all the extras, with the light sensors and things like that. What you can also get are soil moisture sensors, soil temperature sensors, sensors for this and that, which can all be displayed on the console unit itself. With this is normally displayed. You can set this all up with weather, with your basic weather data, which includes indoor temperature, humidity, pressure, your outdoor sensors, which usually consist of temperature, humidity, wind speed, direction, and if I remember off my top of my head, there is rain as well. You have the nice big rain gauge, which is a big tipping bucket thing. The Davis, out of all the consumer weather stations that you can buy, Davis is actually the best. There is another unit that Davis do. It's called the Vantage View. If I remember off the top of my head, let's have a look. The Vantage View. Yeah, the Vantage View. This is a smaller unit, which is actually more aimed at the consumer at consumers, and is available for about £325. There are also options available with the Vantage Pro 2 and even the Vantage View, of something called a weather link. This software, what it basically is, you get, it's another £125, or another £120. You get for your £120 is the software and a WeatherLink data dongle, which is basically basically records the weather data that you have on the Vantage, coming through the Vantage Pro 2 or the Vantage View console, and it stores it onto the WeatherLink data logger, and you can connect this up to your computer and upload that data to your computer. You can also get it to live link, so you can if you have a website that you run with your weather data, you can display that. Okay, right, what we're going to do now is we're going to have a look and see what's actually inside this. So if we turn this upside down, firstly you have your battery port, which takes 3 size C batteries. I think it's size C, just bear with me a moment. Yep, they're size C batteries. And you got the expansion port for your weather link, which will seat in there like so. But what we're gonna now, to go further, if we open up the back, this is what we can see inside. Really basic, really nice and simple. Because what we have is your circuit board for the LCD screen with your LCD screen driver chips, and you have your main logic board with an Atmel 128. Just double check that. Yep, Atmel 80 mega 128 processor. You also have the circuitry for the antenna with a dedicated antenna chip for communicating with the weather sensors. There is also an option available for a cabled weather sensor. So what you do is you run a cable to the on the weather sensors to the console. Obviously this is not actually populated because this is the wireless version. You also have here the pressure sensor. You have a humidity sensor, and you've got your thermistor for your indoor temperature and humidity sensors, and the pressure sensor, which is actually recorded from the console and not from the weather stations itself. The weather station only records the wind speed, wind direction, rainfall, outside temperature and humidity, and also you have other sensors such as soil moisture, soil temperature, Davis Vantage Pro 2, particularly the wireless version, had a flaw which I would see quite often. This particular flaw concerned the outside station. It was mostly the SIM board, which took all the data from all the sensors and then transmitted it to the console. What would happen is there was three ways that it was powered. First, you had a solar panel which charged up a supercapacitor, but if you hadn't got enough sunlight to fully charge up the supercapacitor, there would be a backup primary cell, which was a CR123. What would happen sometimes is the electrolyte in the supercapacitor would dry out, causing the supercapacitor to fail. During the day, the sensors will work fine, but overnight, the station would actually run on the primary cell till eventually the primary cell would dry up. Once the primary cell had there's no power left in the primary cell, it would then run during the day, but come night time all the sensors would be lost, so people recording the data would suddenly notice overnight the data disappearing, and we get them ringing up and asking what's gone wrong and things like that, and we had to get the SIM unit back and solder on a new supercapacitor. Anyway, this is the Davis Vantage Pro 2. If you want to know any more, leave a message in the description below, and I'll see you in the next video.